People told me I was too young to get married when I was 24. And now, 15 years later, I can honestly say that I am more in love with my husband than I was on the day of our wedding. You're not ready, they said. Enjoy your 20s, travel, build a career. Don't rush into marriage. Well, I got married at 24, had my first child at 25, my second child at 28. And now, 15 years later, I can honestly say that I am more in love with my husband than I was on the day of our wedding. I've grown with him, we've grown together, and we've built a life of love, family, and purpose with Christ at the center in the covenant that God set for us. But the world loves to tell women that their 20s is for everything except marriage. We're told, get a degree, rack up your student loans, enjoy your hot girl summers with no commitment, buy your own house somehow in this economy, and make yourself a career woman before you even think about your husband. So basically, be a stud in the dating world. Be independent, be selfish, date without boundaries, and never trust men. Like, no. But then by the time we're in our 30s, we're ready to slow down and we want a family and we want to commit. But then many of the men that we are actually interested in, we find that they're not actually available. And so this message is just so confusing. We're told what not to tolerate in bits, but rarely are we told what to actually look for that matters. Not does he walk with God? Does he have character, integrity, work ethic, morals? How does he treat women? What do other people say about him? But instead it's, let's just make sure that he makes 6 figures and doesn't cheat. That is completely missing the point. Because the truth is, right, the Bible says in Galatians 6:7, you reap what you sow. Simples. It doesn't say simples. But what we sow in our 20s actually matters. But we are not told to think about that. If we grow patience, wisdom, love, godly character, then we are setting up ourselves and our families up for a blessing. But if we only sow temporary pleasures, then we're going to reap emptiness. It's as simple as that. If you're watching this and you're in your 20s aren't just for careers or fun. Seize that, grow and build your character, grow into a marriage, and essentially a life built with Christ at the center. So much of modern dating today is just broken. We're told to lower our standards, have casual sex, to date endlessly, and have our hearts broken along the way as if that's normal. But it's not, because dating without parameters, without a vision of what marriage actually should look like is just it's dumb. We're never taught how to be a wife, how to live with a man, how to listen, how to respect, how to grow together. And here's the kicker, right? Because the older you are and the longer you wait, the smaller your pool of potential husband becomes. We don't like to talk about it. We like to think that when we get to a certain age, men will still be there for us to just pick from the tree, but that's not the reality. So like I said, I got married at 24. I had both children by 28. And guess what? With God's grace, I was still able to build a 6-figure business, all while keeping my family as my priority. And I didn't have a huge community around me. No. My family don't live in this country. It was just me, my husband, and 2 kids with Christ at the center of our home. I am proof that marriage at a young age doesn't destroy your freedom or your dreams. In fact, it can actually enhance them. You grow together, you learn together, you succeed together. And you do all of that in a way that honors God. So every woman that's being told, wait. I will say this, right? Don't wait blindly. Learn what to look for in a man. Protect your value. Oh, I can't say this enough. You have to protect your value and sow the seeds now for a godly relationship. Build a life with purpose, love, faith, because Proverbs 31:10 says, a wife of noble character, who can find? She is worth far more than rubies. So yeah, marriage at 24 didn't end my life. In fact, it was the beginning of my greatest adventure. And today, 15 years later, I wouldn't change a thing. So any lady watching this, focus on what matters. Look for a man's heart. Look for his character. And most importantly, his walk with God. Please don't be afraid to start your life and your family earlier than society tells you to, because life is so much richer when you plant the right seeds at the right time. If you enjoyed that, please follow, like, subscribe, and share. Is that what the people say? If you enjoyed this video, please follow, like, and comment. I'm going to be coming out with more content to minister and to speak to the woman that I was when I was younger, that I so desperately needed. And this is my way of sharing what I've learned along the way. See ya.